Welcome everyone, it's Fury here. I'm bringing up another tutorial video about creating RPG game from scratch. As always, check this website. There is a lot of tutorials of mine and the other people, so this website pretty much gathers all community and even official tutorials, so you can have them in one place. So let's get straight into this. We're gonna see where we finished on the last. I already opened the solution for this. This is our last project, RPG tutorial game. So we're gonna be working now on this project only. So what I'm gonna do, I go straight into the editor to see, what things we have so far, because some people might not remember that. Okay, don't be worried about this. This is just a sandbox not being closed properly. As always, I keep forgetting about this. But this only happens on these empty projects of mine. So as I remember last time, we finished working on some simple model for shitty looking sword that looks like a uh, cricket stick. I guess it's called stick, which looks like this pretty much. Yeah, it actually reminds me of a cricket stick that they use for the game. But this is sword, okay? This is sword. So there is our entity for the sword, Blade of Fury, that's how it's called. And we're able to actually point at it and get the message. So what we're gonna continue with is we're gonna go in here and actually we're gonna make it peekable and stuff. So the main goal of it is that we're gonna approach this and pick it up. So I have this stuff in my previous tutorials, but we're gonna go over it once again with the new 5.4 Cryengine. So which is quite cool. Okay, so creating. I'm gonna close all of this and open up only files that I need, which is player input, because these are actions from the keyboard. So I'm gonna copy this, paste in here, and we're gonna call it use, let's say. Okay. I'm gonna explain in a while why I call it use. There's nothing at the moment, and key for this will be a e key. What we need for this is F for picking up items. Very cool thing to do for this is creating those methods that will be handling all of this stuff. Because if I, open it up and put all this stuff in here, that's gonna take a lot of place, and it's not gonna look too good. So basically, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go in here and create the actions. Actions are here. So we're gonna do void. Let's put all of them like this. Action underscore use. Okay. Well, we're gonna actually. Okay, we're gonna do integer and activation mode. Oh, is it called activation mode or activation mode? Okay. Okay, it actually wants to put this in player input, so it's fine. Okay, so we got this method over here. The reason why I call it use instead of calling it pickup or something is because I may use it later in. Sorry about this noise, just moving around the microphone. The reason why I called it use instead of pickup or something like this is because we might use this later for like opening doors and stuff. So it's gonna still be within the same button, use F button. So we're gonna have more functionality later for this. That's why. So it's gonna be basically calling action a action use activation mode passed to it. So now when we press F, it's gonna call this method in here. So if activation mode equals pressed. If we press, then we're gonna pick it up. So, but first of all, we would need to check if we actually are looking at some object. So we're gonna create another variable, and wait, we're gonna actually do the item thing for it. So we're gonna put it over here and call it as item component p target item null pointer. Fine. The thing is that we have to, initialize this somehow. So at the point where the player update does, when we check if we look at some point at some entity, and if this entity is actual valid item, and if this item is pickable, blah blah blah, and then show pickup message. But aside the pickup message, we would like to actually update this pointer. So p target item equals p collider item. But if we look away from that point, we do not, look at this item anymore. We have to zero this out, because if we do it, the player will try to pick up something that is not pointed. So what we need is basically any of this. Whoa, how can we do that? Okay, let's do it. If item isn't... Okay, for now we can leave it like this. P target item equals null pointer. So we zero out this. But it's gonna happen now, so we have to check if this nothing is actually being if sorry if the item or if the entity is not valid, or if item is not valid, or if it's not looking at anything, then it's gonna do that. Otherwise, we will actually assign this item to it and show pickup message. But so if this happens here, if it goes that far, it's gonna return, so it will not zero out. But if in any case, if it does not reach this point, it's gonna zero out target item. Okay, so yep. Okay, now in the player input, we're gonna check if we have pre-target item, if there is any item, if it's not if it's valid at all, and if it's valid, then we're gonna do p target item. Okay, we don't see this stuff, so we have to include item component. Target item. Whoops, I'm not sure why this does not show the things I'm trying to do. Weird. Probably it's because of that. We're gonna need structure. Okay. Okay, now we got it. So we're gonna pick it up, pick up. And new owner of this item, it's us, which is, the player component, which is, you can just do this. Cool, isn't it? And now we're gonna go to this method and define what it should do. Okay, oh, actually I did it before, so we will see what happens when I pick it up. Again, sandbox shit. I'm gonna leave it on the other screen, so we just completely zero out the sandbox when we need to. Alright. Okay, it compiled properly. I'm gonna go launch editor and see what happens when we pick it up, actually. I know somebody could say that we are going to do some we should do some mine menu on the beginning and stuff like this, but I disagree because we still don't know what shape this game will take. So designing the stuff, it would be ridiculous now. So we jump into the game, we point at it, and we press F, and we pick it up. I know you can't see it, but you will be able to see it. We just have to implement it properly. So yeah, okay. Basically now we would have to do some very simple inventory system. But since we have this, component system introduced in 5.4, then we're gonna just create a component for our player. So you're gonna do add new item, use our component interface that we create, template, components, and we're gonna call it inventory component. Okay, add. Inventory component. And obviously, as always, we gotta go to CMake lists and add more components to the player. Let's put them on the bottom, the new one. Inventory component. Copy and put that H file. Save it and rebuild the solution. That should do. Okay, it failed. Okay, again, the sandbox shit. Now, reload the solution. Make sure it compiles properly. Okay, it does compile. Now, here. RPG game tutorial game. And purpose. Let's say something like this. Now our component will be class C inventory component. Okay, as always, like we do every time. Fine. The next thing, we're gonna just grab all of this stuff that we usually have in most of these cases. I'm gonna grab it from here. Process event, that stuff. There's one more method that I shouldn't have. This one. Bang. So this is, the basic methods for the all of this, the component itself. But inventory system will be different story, and you're gonna have some different stuff in here. We want to make this component, this inventory component, so we basically want to make this inventory be very universal. So if we create some other like enemy, like I don't know, some wolf or some fucking monster or whatever that we want to kill later, then most likely we want to have inventory on him as well. And obviously we can create another inventory for the enemies and stuff. But the beginning we just gonna use the same inventory for everyone, or at least we will try to create inventory that will work with all of these, you know, um, I guess characters that we're gonna assign it to. Um, since this is components, so we can attach it anywhere. Okay, this is inventory component. Now the inventory main things. Uh, what we want to have on our player, the on the very beginning, we would like to have, for example, I was planning on doing. Okay, I'm gonna run the game. Show you what I mean. So if you look at the screen now, I was planning on having like, let's say, maybe five slots on the bottom where his feet is, and a few in inventory slots as well. So well, the question on the beginning is: would we want to have inventory that stores all types of items, so like weapons, armor, and everything, in one inventory, or we want to have it in separated classes? Well, the separated classes is, looks better and stuff, but it will generate much more work for me. So we're gonna stick with having just a inventory that will store all of these items, no matter what type they are. But each item will take just one slot. It's not gonna be like a Diablo game that has this inventory that, depending on the size of item, it will take uh, some certain space. Also, um, wait a second, I gotta read the message. Okay. um, okay, so we could obviously we are on the at the stage of planning this whole stuff. So we have to, define if we want to actually do like Skyrim like inventory where you can put there whatever you want as long as you do not go further than your player is capable of having, like weight. As I remember in Skyrim was like you could have 200 units of the weight, which is, you could say kilograms, but probably it's not, but units of the weight. And if your inventory items were more than this, then you were moving so slowly that actually it was slow enough to make you throw away one or two items. So, or we want to do something like this, or we want to do Diablo thing, which I don't really like, or we want to do just simple inventory where the item is one item equals one slot. So, and this is the question. I would say let's try to do let me think. What we want to, because yes, there's we're on the stage of planning, so we have to think about if we want to do this list inventory like in Skyrim, or we want to do some slot inventory. Now, slot inventory will take a lot more work on the Flash side, but the list inventory will. I've never created that before, but it's obviously not a big deal. Hmm. Well, what we would like to do? Hard to say. But I think we will stick with the the normal, like, normal, not normal, but these, like, the most usual inventory system, which is a slots inventory system. So one item is one slot, not separated for types of items. So very, very simple inventory. So we're gonna do as item component p item, and it's gonna be like how many slots we would like to have in player's inventory. Well, we would like to have, like, let's say, damn it. Okay, the main inventory would be like 4 for 5, which would be 20 slots. All of them null pointer on the beginning. Oh shit. And the second little inventory we would have. It's actually a good question. Okay, we could do like a quick access inventory on the bottom of the screen where your game is. Let's put some few slots in here on the bottom, so you can access them from number 1, 2, 3, and 5, whatever, on the keyboard. So let's have there like 5 slots at the moment. Item component p quick access, and we're gonna be able to put their spells as well as weapons or any other stuff. Let's do 5. Null pointer. Okay. Oh yeah. So equals null pointer. So this is our inventory that will store everything pretty much. But okay, this is it. But we're gonna make it private, so so we're not gonna accidentally do any stupid shit with this. So within the inventory system, we also will need to do like void add item as item component p new item. We want to do void remove item. Or actually, we would like to add the item to. We would like to have two similar methods. One would be adding item to the next empty slot, and one would be adding item to the specified slot. So we're gonna need add item. Okay, let's do overload of this. Integer slot, and as item component p new item. So this will add item to the next empty slot, if there is any, and this will just add item to the specified slot, unless it's not empty, probably. Another things, add item quick access, and the same story. And void add item quick access int slot item component p new item. Also, we would like to remove these items later, but we're gonna do more methods later. So definitions for all of it. So yeah, okay. Adding item. So we have to check if the item is actual valid item, so return if it's not. Actually, this will apply to all of those. And here. So if the item is valid item, then let's just do then let's just do for int I equals 0. Okay, maybe we could declare some okay, one more thing. Item components gotta be here. Class item. Sorry, not class. It was structure. One more thing. We won't be needing to change these values every time, so let's just declare some macro. Define inventory capacity is gonna be 20, as well as define quick access capacity, and it's 5. It's over here, this one and that one. So that's the way. We're just gonna put this over there, so we always can change these values just here, and that's it. I is more than inventory capacity and I plus plus. Okay, so we're gonna when you add the item and its valid item, of course, we're gonna iterate through all of these, and then if p item I, if it's empty slot, then add it to this slot. So p item I equals p new item, and obviously break or return. Well, if it's not, then don't do anything. The thing about it is that I now think that we could do some check, so we could do some boolean out of all of them. The reason why we could actually check whether these are successfully added items or not. So in this case, we're gonna do false here, and or like just this line maybe. Okay, false, and if it finds any empty slot, then return true. And if it does not find any slot, then return false. So we're not gonna pick this up, obviously. Well, alright, so this is it, and pretty much the same story goes here. It just if the specified slot is empty, that we wanted to use this slot. If the specified slot is empty, then p item slot equals p new item, and then return true. But in any other case, return false. Here, so it goes the same thing like it was before. It just the inventory capacity for the quick access slots will be smaller. So quick access capacity, p item, p quick access, p quick access is new item, and the return false. And the same story goes over here. Only difference is that we're gonna use a quick access. So that's the the methods that will be adding our stuff to inventory. We also want to remove something from inventory. So do we need booleans for this? I don't think so. So we're just gonna go and add void. Void remove item int slot void there's gonna be integer slot. We're gonna see in a while why I did all of this. Yep. Okay, so here, as always, we need this. In this case, we don't return anything. Just two of those. So now we're gonna, remove the item from there. So p item. Okay. Well, first of all, we will have to check if this item is in inventory and which slot it has. And we could do it every time in here, but we're gonna create special method for this. Let's do it on top. So it's gonna return integer, which will be get item slot as item component p new item. It's pretty straightforward, you will see. Get item slot. So if, of course, as always, if p new item is not valid item, then return -1. It's gonna be our magic number that will actually let us know that, hey, this item there's something wrong, or either this item does not exist in the inventory, or item slot is just empty, or doesn't have any, or this item is not valid. So I'm gonna iterate through all of them. Inventory capacity and I++. So now if p item I if p item I equals p new item, if any of the slots have this item, then we're gonna return I, which is the index of this slot. Otherwise, we return -1 as well. So -1 will mean, hey, something failed. All right. So okay, get item slot. Yeah, of course, we got to get item slot. We would like to have also get item quick access slot. So also gonna do the same thing. Let's just copy it. Get item quick access slot. I know my slot word sounds like a slot, most likely, but I'm not English. My first language is not English at all. So okay, again, we're gonna check if this item is valid. If not, then quick access capacity, and then blah blah blah. Go over everything once again. Quick access, blah blah blah. Cool. So now it's gonna be just simply easier to get these motherfuckers. Okay, so when we wanna remove the item from normal slots, of course, then we're gonna do p. Yeah, we have to check if this item is in inventory and stuff. So we already have a method for this. So if okay, p. Okay, wait. Let me think. So we're gonna go get item slot p new item. So it's gonna remove either normal a number or -1. So if let's do int index, and now if index is more than -1, okay, so if index is more than -1, so if it's called the item is found in inventory, then we're just gonna go p item index null pointer. So we zero out this slot completely. Okay. So similar thing will go in here. If index is more than -1, then gonna p quick access index equals blah blah blah. But here we're gonna get a get item quick access slot. And those two methods are also cool. We're gonna just do if slot is more than -1. Of course, we don't want to if you call the array in C++ like this is gonna crash and say this is out of the range of the array. Of course, it's just a logic. So if the slot is more than -1, then we're gonna do p item slot equals null pointer. Also here, if slot is bigger than -1, then p quick access slot slot equals null pointer. So basic stuff for the inventory is already written. So adding and removing items, also getting items. Also, I think we should get item component get get item method. So we just check, we just get the item because this is private. Get item. What's the way to get item? We have two inventory slots, I mean types of slots, so we most likely gonna need to separate them for two methods, either for two methods or just to do something in here. So let's do get item integer slot, and as item component get quick slot get quick access item integer, and we're gonna do slot as well. Also add it over there, and it's gonna be here on the top. So if slot is less than -1, then return null pointer. It's less than 0, sorry. If slot is less than 0. The same thing is gonna go here, because as I said, if it's less than 0, then obviously you can't do nothing, because it's gonna be out of range. So now p slot p item slot, okay, return. We just return it simply. Either it's no matter if it's a null pointer or if it's actually valid item. Quick access and slot. It's cool. We're getting items. We have everything that we wanted. Pretty much, yeah. I think that's all we needed, at least for now. So basically, what we're gonna do is, we're gonna just we got the item and stuff, so we're gonna just hook up this an inventory component to our player. Gonna put it, go to player here, include it here. Inventory component. We're gonna be along with the others. See, inventory component. Let's call it like everything else. Inventory component. Now we're gonna add it to the player as well. So here, inventory, not input, imp inventory component, get or create component class. If you call this is for Crytek's stuff, the inside of engine, let's say, components. But for the components that you create, you need to use get or create component class. Now, see inventory component, and then bang bang, that's it. So now we initialize this inventory component. So, you know, it's attached to this player now, so he has the inventory already. No matter who you actually attach this to, he's gonna have this inventory. Cool. Now we will see what we've got so far. We've got the pickup message, okay, pick collider item, blah blah blah. We got the pickup actual method. So well, yeah, basically what we're gonna do, we're gonna change this a little bit. So we're gonna do okay, so add something else here, because writing this long name every time we wanna, you know, access inventory, this will be ridiculous. So let's do the method to get this. Do we have any methods getting any components here? No, we don't. So let's put it. It's gonna be public. Let's call it getting components, and let's do, you know, see inventory component, get inventory, return mp inventory component. That's it. That's all we wanted. Right. So now in input, when we actually want to pick up something, then we're gonna go, hey, we want to access inventory of this player and actually add item. Yeah, we're gonna add item. In item is p target item. So that's where we're gonna have it in the inventory, but it will be just a floating code because the item will be still on the ground. But most likely what we want to do, we would put this item in our inventory, so just, you know, attach it to the player somewhere. So yep. In order to do this, I'm just gonna actually, okay, of course, if the inventory is not if the inventory does not allow us to do anything, so if the item is not valid, or if the inventory is full, then there's nothing we can do about it. We can't pick up item then. So we either handle it here or we handle it in the inventory. And inventory is pretty clear or pure, you would say. So we're gonna handle it here. So if oh no, actually, if it's inventory in the end of the day, so let's do it there. Oh no, let's maybe do different thing. Okay, because it's used. Okay, sorry, I'm just confused because this is all about planning stuff. So let's do player specific methods. Let's do void pick up as item component p new item. Okay, pickup. We don't want this to be in player input. This is gonna be main player.cpp. Gonna be here. Player pickup. So if p new item return, of course, as always. So we just check if this item is valid. I know we checked it like 3 times already, but whenever we want to use this, we may not check this before, and this will just make sure that everything is fine. So instead of this, I'm gonna do pick up p target item. Okay, that's gonna do everything for us. So now this actual method will handle all the pickup stuff. So if get inventory add item p new item. Shit, what's going on? Why I put it the if over here? It's very simple. It's because this is boolean. This returns if the item is not valid, then false. If inventory at some point is full, then it's gonna also return false. So we're checking this way. We're checking if inventory is actually full or not. If inventory allows us to add this item, right? So if inventory allows us to add this item, then nothing else to do. You just add this item to the inventory. This is gonna handle it. But also we want to make sure that this item is aware of the new owner. So p new item is also gonna be picked up. I'm gonna pick up on the item. So this, because it passes this player new as a new owner. But as I think about it now, if we end up having some AI, then the player component will be wrong. So I changed my mind, and I'm gonna go to the items. I think player component as owner, it's not a good idea. I was wrong. I think we're gonna put here just simply entity, because entity is everything in the game. So we're gonna do entity p owner entity. Okay, I think it's better idea. It's also protected, so okay, that's fine. Item component. Also, yeah, okay. Here, we're gonna do entity pick up new owner. So because if you leave it like this with the player, then only player can be owner, and we don't want this to happen actually, because look, you have any other AI in the future, guys walking around that can actually kill you and pick your stuff, or just drop you to the ground and take your stuff away from you, or steal the stuff away from you. Anything we want, then player is not gonna be owner anymore. It's gonna be some other entity. So let's do it like this. Let's keep it entity. So p owner entity. P owner. As you can see, it's even easier over here. Okay, cool. So now let's get back in here. So instead of this, we're gonna do mp entity. So once again from the beginning, if we pick up, no, here. If we have item already, pointed, pick up, and pick up will check if this item is valid, and if it's valid, then obviously just check if we can add this to inventory, and if we can, then pick it up, and also make this item aware of being picked up. So assign new owner to it, and also attach this item to the owner as a child. Okay, it's pretty much all we wanted. So no matter what item we have, it's gonna be added to the inventory now. So we're gonna close all of this and think what to do next. Well, at this point, I think it would be cool to have some simple inventory, visual, I mean UI inventory, to show all of this stuff. And I guess we could do that. Let me think. Is there anything else we could do? We're gonna do attachment component as well, but this is for later, because we can't do this now. Okay, let's just build it. As you can see, with the component system, everything goes much faster than normally. Okay, we have some errors over here, but it's not a big deal because this is unaware of our item system. So include item component, and now everything should be fine, unless we have some similar things and somewhere else. I don't think so though. Okay, this video is almost 1 hour. Okay, so we're gonna go to the editor, and as always, you see, the last video was like 2.5 hours, and this video will be around 1 hour. And as you can see, in 3.5 or 3 hours, we are actually did quite a progress in creating game on our own. So it's quite impressive, I think. So we're gonna put, as you remember, we had 20. Let's remove this from here. Okay. As you remember, we had like 20 places in inventory. So let's see if it works at all. I think it's enough. Jump to the game and pick up one by one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. And now I shouldn't be able, if I count it properly, I shouldn't be able to pick this up. And as you can see, I can't pick it up anymore. So our system works. Nothing crashes, nothing happens to it. As I see, they are not being put up back to the place, but doesn't really matter. Which is cool. Well, we have to handle, drawing the weapon from our pockets, let's say, but we can't do it without any visual inventory system. So it's kind of crap, because we have to now leave all of this stuff and actually go to the Flash develop, which I'm gonna cover a little bit in this video, and this is gonna be the end of the video. So I'm gonna close the Cryengine part at the moment, and now I'm gonna show a little bit of the stuff that you need. Just let me see what Flash develop I have. Flash develop. As I said, we're gonna be building this this game only on the free software. So as well as we have Visual Studio 2015 community version, which is completely and totally free, as well as we're gonna be using, holy shit, that's not really, I don't know why it showed up that way. Okay, let's close it. Wow, it shouldn't be that bad. Okay, doesn't matter. Okay, so we're gonna be opening or creating new new is to where the hell is the okay, new project, and it's gonna be ActionScript 2 project, and we're gonna put it in our Cryengine 5 Crytek projects, and we're gonna put this inside of our, where is it? It was called most likely the RPG blah blah something. Yeah, RPG tutorial game. We're gonna do it assets and create new folder. Flash UI. So this way we know that this is not something that Cryengine will be dealing with. Flash UI, a new folder inside of it. We're gonna call it inventory. Very simple. And okay. And it's also gonna be called inventory. Alright, we got this. See, it's empty project completely. But first of all, before I tell you how to create an inventory here, we're gonna just be showing what this program is, because as you remember from my previous videos, I always use Adobe, and Adobe is not free software. So since we want to create this game on free software only, we're gonna check which version is this. I think this was the last 3.3.4 RTM. Alright, so here it is. Flash develop. This is free software, completely free, and it's, I think they do not continue working on this anymore. This was open source, but they do not continue on this anymore. Now I have to look for this version that you can download. Yep. Oh, releases, okay. So, as you remember, I have 3.3.4 RTM, which is, I think, the last that worked with Cryengine. 3.3.4 RTM. So you gotta download this version. You have link over here. Flash develop, download. Don't worry, it's not gonna give you any bullshit over there. So it's completely free. So yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to say. So yeah, let's start from the very beginning. I just need some help here on the left. Just give me a second, please. Alrighty. Okay, in Flash Develop, it's slightly different than Adobe, although it's still ActionScript 2. It's slightly different. I think it's better. I like to work better with this. The only one problem is that with the Flash Adobe, you have the visual editor for this, but in the Flash Develop, you can only code. They don't have any visual editor for this, so that's quite shitty. Okay, so this will be our inventory. So let's do static variable inventory and main. Okay, and entry point here we're gonna do inventory new main. This is just initialization of this whole ActionScript object, I guess. I'm gonna put it in one line so it's not disturbing anymore. So you can from now you can consider this method as the beginning of the whole stuff. So we're gonna make sure that it actually is being called, and it is being called. Fine. We're gonna put our project settings to 60. holy shit, to 60, and you can put different size if you want. And the background of the project, let's make it black because I like it. Cool. So it's a full screen project now. Well, what we need in the inventory, apart from nicely looking bullshit stuff, then we want to have also slots first of all. So we're gonna play around with designing in GIMP. Let's go here. Shit, where the hell is that? Okay, in here, assets flash UI in our inventory, and we're gonna create new folder. We're gonna be called library, and just run GIMP. So in the library, we're gonna be storing all of our all of our sources for the development, of course. So one slot is gonna be a square. So the square will be like, what size of a square will we want to have? So new, just a screen. Okay, this is actually asking me for this. The size, I know it's in Polish language, but don't worry. This is width and this is depth. This is height. So one slot could be like, since we have 20 slots, we have to manage the size of the inventory. So it's gotta be 4 for 5. So let's do maybe 60 for 60 square slots. Okay, actually let's do 80 for 80. Right. So this is our slot that will be, remove new layer, and yeah. So this is gonna be our slot. Basically, we're gonna just round it a little bit. So, shit, I have. Okay, let me check if I have. If I can have some other language like English for you to be. Okay, no, fuck it. It just follows. Stop the video and we'll see. This is like basically just highlighting and rounding this stuff. So let's do maybe 20%. So as you can see, it's a little bit rounded over here on the corners, which looks, a little bit better. We're not gonna be playing too much with this. So let's do black in here. Let's do smaller by 3. And yeah, let's cut it from there. Let's make a new layer and paste it over here. Oh, actually no, I did it wrong. Most likely wrong. That's pretty much it. Okay, so on the new layer we're gonna make it a little bit bigger, 2, let's say, and also make it black, or let's make it actually white. But we're gonna swap them. So our slot looks like this. Basically the frame of the slot, let's make it. It's gonna be brighter. Let's make it like blue, but a little bit darker blue. Let's make it more color. Okay, I like this color. I'm gonna leave it. And for in the middle of the slot, we're gonna do maybe some fuck knows what. Let's do like shit. Let's do maybe gray, simple gray, a little bit darker, like this, and let's make it a little bit transparent. Okay, like this. Now, I know this might not be the most beautiful slot you've ever seen, but fuck it. Just listen, we're just doing simple inventory. So, let's do export as And we're gonna export it to our Cryengine, Crytek, and projects, RPG tutorial game, assets, Flash UI inventory. Jesus fucking Christ, that's okay. Library, and we're gonna call it slot. Slot like this. Bang. That's it. That's cool. Let's close it up. At the moment, at least, do not close completely the program. So I get our slot over here. So in Flash Develop now it showed up in library, but in order to have this actual in the Flash Develop, you're gonna right click it and go add to library and then compile. It's gonna build this resource, so it's gonna have this item that you can use on the run. Alright, so let's start from building slots for the beginning. Slots. We're gonna, as you remember, we had 20 normal slots and 5 quick access slots. But since we don't want to look into this too much, when we change the number in Cryengine, we want to have more slots also in here. So let's do, like, for example, what can we do? Okay, we will do. Okay, exposing methods for Cryengine in Flash Develop is way different than it was in Adobe. So bear with me now. In Adobe, just simple a method like this would be exposed to Cryengine, but no, not here. You have to do root initialize or whatever you want. I call this initialize and equals function. And now you don't have to have anything, but we're gonna need to have some. And these methods exposed for Cryengine, they have to be inside here in main in the constructor. So okay, the function we have here is basically initializing the inventory as it says, but we have to think of how many slots we want to have. So in Cryengine we're gonna call initialize, and whatever we change in Cryengine, we change for 20 or 300 slots. We want this to have these slots over here. So let's do slots number and quick slots number. At the moment we have this. So you could put everything you want inside of this method from Cryengine, but it's fucked up because when you put more of them in this, then they're gonna get lost. So I'm actually having some different stuff for this. Actually we could do it a little bit maybe better. So let's do source add new class. Shit, it's not, because we're not gonna do a new class, new empty file maybe. Let's do seriously, I've never done that before, but okay, probably we can do this. So let's do Cryengine methods and let's do initialize. So public function initialize slots number, number and quick slots number as well. So when we call it from Cryengine, we want to set up the number of slots. So we're gonna create an array of the slots. Let's call it just static variable slots. Oh no, let's do maybe slots like this. Array equals new array without any specified number, of course. Unless we can do it like this, maybe. Okay, we have to do main inventory. Now we can call this method in here. So it's array. And also we're gonna need static variable quick slots and also array. So the size of array will be defined over here. Slots equals new array and number will be slots. It will be the size of this array. And quick slots new array quick slots, of course. So this will define size of the array. Okay. Yeah. I gotta look into something again. And not here, but here. Something that I did recently. Array. Okay, so it's slightly different here. Let's do like, on the very beginning, we have this to arise to they are initialized, but we also want to have them have some beginning values. So let's reset them. Let's do clear arise, clear slots. Okay, just this. Create new method. This is not Cryengine method anymore. Public function clear slots. So this method will pretty much just grab the slots, like for variable I equals 0, I is less than. I don't know if this actually has some length, valid length in here, but we'll see. So slots I equals null, so we'll nullify all of them. I'm gonna copy this, place over here, and do the same thing with the quick slots. Exactly the same. Since their length is different, so we're gonna just leave it like this. So we initialize them, assign some size for them actually, and then clear them. Alright, what else do we need? We actually gonna create some simple class. So new class, slot class, obviously. Okay. Within this slot is gonna be very similar things. So just like here, we need some the static object of this. Shit. Let me look into something else. Not here. Okay. Oh yeah. Basically, we don't need static on that. Sorry, that's my mistake. Okay, slot will have a couple of properties and stuff, but mainly it's gonna be a movie clip. But we're gonna need some class to store all of these. So slot is not static anymore because each slot can have different one. So slot movie clip. Okay. And now initialization for this. Okay, later. Anyway. So let's do slot equals root attach movie library is here. Library, you actually define a path to the picture that you want to use. So library dot slot dot png, and then the instance name will be, oh shit, that's not gonna be easy. Okay, let's do instance, and then root get next highest depth. So when we create the slot, we want to place it somewhere and stuff like this. So basically we're gonna do instance, which gonna be the name of the slot, string plus index, or not index, let's do ID number. We're gonna do what else slot has to have is X number and Y number. Okay, let's leave it at the moment like this. So we're gonna grab this slot X, it's X, and slot Y equals Y. We will change it slightly, but I had to trim this video by a little, so don't worry about that. Just I messed up something later in the video, so I wanted to deliver, the ready stuff. Well, so what we've got to do, we've already got this slot things. Slot is pretty much set up for the beginning at least, but we would have to, create those slots or show them up. And the way to do it, we're gonna use this constructor. I'm gonna show a slot on the screen at the moment, so you can kind of have idea. We can actually remove all of this. We don't need to nullify them anymore. It was just to set up some beginning stuff. But now we're gonna do slots. For example, slot number 0 equals new slot, which is a constructor of our class over here. And instance, we will call it slot, and ID 0 or whatever index you have here, to make every slot named like they should all be fucking hell, I forgot the word. Unique. Oh, okay, so let's do like 100 and 100y, so you can have kind of idea. You see the slot, it's over here. That's how they're gonna look. So if I copy this and paste it and go like number 1 here, and then let's say 190, then it's gonna do the same job next to each other. The thing is that we want to do this automatically, so when we initialize, we want actually to have these slots initialized nicely like we wanted to. So basically there is so we're gonna write algorithm for this. So basically what I'm trying to achieve is, when we define a number of slots in Cryengine, like let's say 20 or something, we want to have here 20 slots. If we define in Cryengine that there's gonna be 50 slots, then we're gonna have 50 here. So I want to actually create those slots. No matter what I do in Cryengine, I don't want to go back into Flash and create those slots once again. So we're gonna write some simple algorithm for this. Variable, we're gonna create some variable line count, okay, number. So we're gonna separate it for the lines. The number of lines will be slots, length, because this is like length of the array of the slots. So if in Cryengine we say, hey, we want to have 20 slots in this array, or 50 or 12 or whatever, the length will be this 20, or what we defined, for 4, let's say. Why I'm doing this? Actually, what I try to achieve is I want to have 4 slots in each line. Now, line number 1, line number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and so on. If you want to have 5 slots in the line, or 2 or 1 maybe slot in the line, then you just change this number. Which we can actually, sorry about that, which we can actually do. So pretty much this number is just defining number of the lines, or number of, not number of lines. It defines number of slots in one line, and I'm gonna show you what that is. So before we do anything stupid with this or complicated, shit, I'm gonna show you what I'm actually trying to achieve. So let's say we have 20 slots, or let's say maybe 8, so it's gonna be parallel number. Let's say we want to have 8 slots in inventory. So then we're gonna grab the number of slots, which will be 8, divided by 4. Okay, it's gonna give us 2, obviously. So if it gives us 2, it means there will be 2 lines. The problem starts when we're gonna do like 9, because it should actually round the number, but not normally, because normally in mathematics how we round numbers is we actually, if you know a little bit of mathematics, and this is very simple, I guess, primary school thing. So from 0.5 we round to 1, and below 0.5, so it's like 0.4 or less, we round it to 0. So, but we don't want this. We want, actually, if we have even one slot above this, so if I place here 9, it's gonna do 2.25 lines, which is, we have to round it to 3 lines, because the last one will be on the 3rd line. So we have to create some simple algorithm to round it properly. So line count equals math round line count plus 0.4. Why are we doing this way? I'm gonna comment this out and show you something. Trace line count, okay? And this is gonna be messaged in the console. So we have 8 slots now. We run the game. So 2 lines, okay. 4 slots in one line, 4 in the other. Well, what about if we just do like 9 slots or something like this? As you see, it says 2.25. And if you round it normally, so we're gonna do math round line count. Okay, it's gonna round this 2.25 into 2, but it should be rounded to 3. That's why we're gonna add 0.4, and that's the way, if we have 1 or any extra slot, it's gonna put it into the 3rd line or in the next line. You can see the effect over here. Trace line count. As you can see, it goes 3 now. If I do like 10 slots or something like this, it's gonna do also 3, 3, 3. Okay, actually you're gonna see what I mean later. So for variable line equals 0, line is less than line count, and line plus, of course. This is just simple. Okay, now another loop in here. Variable I equals line times 4. I is less than line times 4 plus 4. I'm gonna explain it in a while as well. what it does, the first loop is actually, oh shit, is actually, iterating through the number of lines. So line 0 has 4 slots, line 1 has 4 slots, and so on and so on. And this actually, the second loop is creating the slot index pretty much. So when the line is number 0, so first line is named index is 0, line number 0, which is line number 1, but in programming everything starts from 0, so you have to remember about this. So line 0, which is the first line, is gonna count line, which is 0, times 4, which is still gonna be 0 no matter what, and it's gonna iterate through all of the slots that you wanna assign to this line until it reaches this, line times 4, which is gonna be 0 plus 4, 4. So there can be only 4 slots in the line. I know it's quite complicated, but I think if you go through this a few times, you're gonna understand. I can actually show the messages now. Trace, let's say line plus line, so you can see actually visually how it works. Trace slot plus I. If I run this now, you're gonna see line 0 has slots, slot 0, 1, 2, 3. Slot number 1, line number 1 has slot 4, 5, 6, 7, and so on and so on. I can actually show you, like, if I do like 32 slots, something like this, then you're gonna have line 0 slot 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, line 1 slot 4, 5, 6, 7, line 2 slot 8, 9, 10, 11, blah 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 blah, and so on and so on. No matter what you do, it's gonna keep working the same way. Yeah, so that's pretty simple algorithm. So now it's gonna get a little bit more complicated. So as you remember, when creating slots, we wanna have slot index is of course this, so slot 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 20 something, blah blah blah. So I is the slot index. New slot, an instance name, we're gonna keep slot. Index is I, still just the same as here. But the place where it gets complicated will be placing this stuff, because I want to place them where I want. So this is gonna be slightly complicated. Let's assume that we're gonna start from on the x-axis here somewhere, which is 1600. Plus, because we want to have every second slot, so first slot will be here at 1600. Second slot will be 90 units, 90 pixels onto the right, another one 90 pixels here, 90 pixels. We have to move them from each other. And also, when 4 slots are already here, we're gonna start adding slots on the other line below. So also 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have to create this automatically, because to create for every slot 0 plus 90 blah blah blah, that's gonna be just ridiculous. And I prepared something here. You're gonna need this. So I minus 4 times line, okay, times 90. So what this does is placing the slots on x-axis. So first slot will be on 1600 plus I, which is 0, gonna be on the first slot, and then gonna do 4 times line. So if the line is 0, then oh shit, that's fucking complicated. Okay, I'm gonna show you like this. I'm gonna get back to these numbers. Trace slot line. Oh yeah, sorry. No, line. Okay, so we just check which line it is, and then I'm gonna add something different than before. We're gonna do trace slot plus, and we're gonna do this little math thing. I minus 4 times line. Okay. So you're gonna see, as you remember before, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What I wanted to achieve is this. On the line 0, we're gonna have slot 0, 1, 2, 3. On the line 2 or line 1, 0, 1, 2, 3. Here line 2, 0, 1, 2, 3. Line 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 0, 1, 2, 3. So I want to have the same index. So it's like first line slot 0, 1, 2, 3. Second line slot 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on. That's what I wanted to achieve, because then we're gonna actually multiply it by 90, because slot size is 80, so 90 is like slot size plus 10, which would be just a little bit of distance between slots. So now I minus 4 times line. This is gonna give you the right numbers for each slot, no matter how many they are. And the y value would be 200 plus line times 90. Also the same distance between them, 10. And line 0 times 90, so it's over here, 0. Line 1 times 90, 90 below. Line 2 times 90 would be already 180, so it's below. And see what happens now. See? It generated all the slots that I wanted. And there is so many. 32 of them. If I tell it to have 3 slots in here, then I'm gonna have alright, that's actually quite interesting. Yeah, because it starts from 0, so yeah, 2 slots is still 4 slots. That's interesting. Why? Maybe something I did wrong. It's not a big deal. Yeah, he's probably gonna have oh yeah, I think we're gonna need like to break this loop in the end here. That's what it's gonna make. Or not, just one. So that's okay, don't be worried about this. However, I guess the 4 slots would be the least number of slots here. So 4 and above, because you have to have at least 1 line. Holy shit, that's actually interesting. Now I'm gonna just take a look at this. If I did everything properly. Line count and it's pretty interesting. I did this algorithm on the run, so there still can be some mistakes in it. Anyways, I'm gonna try to fix this, and we're gonna get back into this in the next video, so see you.